Hello, my name is Emilio Romero, and today I'm going to do my persuasive speech on going green ads are going bad. And to start off my speech, I'm going to tell you about all the cons of these going green ads and how it's really not benefiting the actual movement of making the world a better place. Throughout the last couple of decades, the world has been flooded with going green ads from TV places, documentaries, going to our local grocery stores, and also even in schools. And ads are going to be like, don't be a litter bug, or buying electric cars to stop CO2, and that we have the power to stop global warming. And sadly, that is not the truth. Back in the early 1900s, there was an effective way to cut back the littering where people can return their beverage bottles to companies where they can clean them out and reuse them. And for a long time, that was very effective and it would still be effective to this day. But sadly, in the 1950s, a bunch of greedy companies switched to disposable bottles and cans to cut the costs of cleaning and reusing them. In 1953, in the state of Vermont, it was actually recorded in the New York Times article in 1953, the government in Vermont banned disposable bottles and cans because too many cows were eating these bottles and litter, and they were dying from it and causing them to lose many stock and ways of food. And while many other states were going to continue to ban disposable cans and bottles, the companies that were making these actually decided to shift the blame from them to the users, us. And they actually funded the Keep America Beautiful Foundation and coined the term litter bugs, while letting these disposable ads and saying that we're the litter bugs and we need to make the choices. And they let these bans and making every year we waste over 100 billion disposable cans that are sticking in waste or in landfills or being littered. All right. Fun fact about paper companies is that they're actually really good for the environment. A lot of people are saying paper companies are cutting down trees and that they're destroying the forests, but that's not the case at all. For a company that relies on trees to make their supplies, they really do care for trees. And for each tree that they cut down, they plant multiple new ones. But other companies that say going green and saying that paperless is better is actually making a larger carbon footprint. Just because you're going paperless doesn't mean you're saving trees. And while other companies that are making these tablets or laptops to go paperless are actually making bigger carbon footprints and cutting down all these trees and filling them up with cul-de-sacs, freeways, and other horrible things. Nowadays, the new hot things are electric cars like Teslas and different type of hybrids. These cars are marketed to be greener and be more energy efficient than gas cars, but they're built the exact same way as gas cars now. They come from energy grids, and then if those power plants are being used by using coal, they are actually burning more CO2 into the air than hybrids. And that is from an article from How Green is Tesla Really? And made in 2013, and also from an article I read from How Much Do Electric Cars Drive Vehicles Matter to the U.S. Emission, says, according to the studies, even if half of all drivers switched to electric cars, the carbon savings would be negligible. Let's see. Buying a car uses the same materials as regular cars use, as steel, aluminum, and copper. And even worse, the batteries require a really rare metal that requires multiple intensive mining. And while electric cars are more efficient, but if people keep buying these cars and replacing their old ones, they're actually increasing the carbon footprint by 50%. And if we really want to help save the environment, the best thing we can do for cars is to drive less or to drive the current car we're using as long as possible. And if we cannot use that car no longer, then we can buy small electrical cars or even used ones to save our carbon footprint. And yes, despite everything, there is a lot of reasons for hope. Being greener, buying greener stuff, being greener is all great, but it's not good enough. In an article for the UN News Central in 2015, nearly every country in the world came together for the first time to sign a treaty to curb carbon emission, and it was called the Paris Agreement. And this is a great first step into keeping each other accountable for our carbon footprint and to make sure that we are taking the right steps to make sure we are saving from global warming and keeping the oceans from rising. And to continue this, we all have to take individual action and encourage others to have a collective responsibility, and we can raise our voices and start working together for a better tomorrow. Yes, there's a lot of ways that we've built our and kind of destroyed our own earth and increasing our carbon footprints, and we're changing the world in many different ways. But because we built all these things, this also means we can change what we've done, and we can change our ways into making a better and greener, healthier earth. This was my speech for making a greener earth and how green ads are going bad. Thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye.